Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Mr. Phil Show. Mary doesn't have a voice to talk, so we put her in behind the scenes tonight with Ken, her husband, the producer. So she's directing from the back. So I'd like to introduce our co-host for tonight, Alexis.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alexis. I'm co-hosting tonight, and I'm also the script supervisor of Transcending Pictures.
Okay, so just tell a little about Transcending Pictures.
It's a film production company, and we're currently working on his fourth feature film, and it's really going to be great.
Right, and myself, I've been with them now over 3 years, since 2014, and I've done a few films and a few other spots and commercials for them, and I was part of the Hudson Valley Film Festival, both of them that they had in 2015 and 2016.
And to my understanding, there will be another one coming, supposedly.
Right. That's great. So how did you get started on films?
Well, to be honest, I started dating Charles, and he introduced me to the film industry, and I really liked it.
Right. So here's where the film industry meets the television and music industry here on the Mr. Phil Show. This is another first on the Mr. Phil Show, where our director, Mary Frost, has expanded into other areas besides just having bands and singers come on this year in season 22.
Wow. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. It's great to be part of it. So what I'd like to do now is have some of the folks, okay, they're going to come out. I'm going to have some of the folks come out, but first, I'm going to get up and do a song.
All right.
What's
the name of that song?
It's called I Had a Dream. I'm doing it for a reason tonight, okay? Because this song, if you listen to the words very carefully, it's about having a dream and accomplishing what you want. And this song was originally written about me by my manager and songwriter, Carl Richards. And it's written about the passion that I have in both the business of TV, singing, and now films. And originally, when it was written, he wrote it for American Idol.
Wow.
For Fox TV, for American Idol.
That's awesome.
But they didn't have the songwriting contest anymore. So since it was written about me, he gave it to me.
And now you're going to sing it.
Yes, now I'm going to sing it. And it's all about all of us and what we're doing tonight and what we've been doing for the last few years and, you know, our future in all areas of the business.
I'm excited.
Yes, because remember, there's no business like show business.
Of course not.
Okay, so let me go over to my spot and I'll do my song. Okay, this is what it's all about. Anybody who has a dream out there. I had a dream, my dreams have come true. I stand in front of you. I chased the rainbow. I found my pot of gold. I grabbed for the brass ring. Now here it is I hold. I had a dream. My dreams have come true. I worked so hard to get it to you. I had a dream. My dreams have come true. I had a dream, and I'd like to thank you. I chased the rainbow. I found my pot of gold. I grabbed for the brass ring. Now here it is I hold. I had a dream. My dreams have come true. I had a dream, and I'd like to thank you. I had a dream. My dreams have come true. I had a dream. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Yes.
Thank you. Well, this song is dedicated to all of you.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, because all of you, have a dream and are accomplishing what you're supposed to be doing. Especially I'm looking toward you, Charles, how hard you work for what you want. I mean, and I know you all these years, and I've seen, the effort you put into it. Nothing was given to you. I mean, I see the way you've just rebuilt from everything, and, you're a fighter, and that's what I admire about you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
So I want to start it off with you first, Charles. Tell me how Transcending Films started.
Okay, well, a few years ago, I started Transcending Pictures. I always thought it was an impossible task to overcome, making a movie. Who would think that you'd be able to do a movie? However, I always did music, and I was always a writer and creative in any type of way you could think of. So I wrote a screenplay with Chris Matrone, who's also a member of Transcending Pictures. And from that, a kind of a spark happened. We wrote The Factory, and we met some of these lovely people beside me, Ed and Josephine, who were producers of The Factory, my first film. And from that moment, we grew a following. And we went on to bigger films with bigger budgets. And it's still growing. I mean, we had Savior, which was our follow-up film that became award-winning.
Right.
Yes. And Irony of Catharsis, we kind of took a look in a different genre.
Right.
And now we're on our fourth feature film, A Line Between All Things, which is the next big thing to come.
Right. And, you're the one who actually expanded my career, by, putting me into these films.
And I love doing that. These networking opportunities are wonderful. Transcending Pictures always does networking events. That's how I think we met. I think you came to one of our networking events, and
Yes.
Josephine introduced me. And,
Yes.
Maybe Josephine wants to talk a little bit about how we first met.
Well, we first met at the factory, the movie The Factory. It was very exciting. We first started filming down in Monroe, and it was actually a shooting scene. And I think, Charles, you were one of the main actors in that movie.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it was. I remember lots of my friends were there as extras, and it was really exciting. And I guess that's how it started. Nobody knew that it was like the best kept secret in Orange County. Nobody knew that we were making films until Charles came out and he started filming in Orange County, especially Middletown. A lot of people in Middletown were a lot of the extras, and we filmed in lots of city properties. The mayor was involved, the Paramount Theater, across the street, what was it? The TD Bank, and everybody was excited. Matter of fact, they're still excited. Movie is the one thing, and Charles started it all in Middletown. Thank you, Charles, because it was exciting, still exciting.
I don't want to take all the credit, but there was so many wonderful people on the journey that assisted me, and they were extras in my film, helped me produce it, helped me find locations, businesses that have assisted me. That's been exciting.
Well, we all seem to have worked well together. We all seem to have worked well together in this because we first became friends, and then we became kind of like business associates, and we all tried to live up to our dreams, just like you were talking about and you're singing about in your wonderful song.
Right.
If you live up to your dreams and you're able to do something like that, you're a success.
Right.
And you feel good about yourself, and there's no stopping you. And that's why you've been so successful. Charles, that's why you're going to be so successful. And everybody here tonight is, thank God, wonderful, wonderfully successful.
It's the passion.
And one of the things I just want to add is Transcending Pictures is more than just making movies. It's a networking family.
It's a lifestyle.
A lot of the, it's a lifestyle, I should say. A lot of the people who have been involved with my projects, they still communicate with each other, and they get hired on other gigs, and it's kind of like they go on to the next one. And
Right.
Either it was the Tea Garden, we had a nice following. We actually have another networking event on October 27th.
Right.
At the Tea Garden, which is Halloween themed. That's where we're going to be releasing the theatrical trailer of A Line Between All Things. But even talking about that in experience, I mean, Hope beside me here, she was a part of A Line Between All Things. And I feel like there's no better person to express what it's like to be in the film than, her.
Right.
Well, absolutely. The film was amazing, and I do a lot of background acting, small parts, small roles, featured. But for A Line Between All Things, it was the first time I had a struggle, and I got shot, and I got thrown over a snowmobile. So that was pretty exciting. And Charles is really great on set. I mean, it's not stressful or anything. It's fun. It's exciting. He has a great cast, great crew. So it's not like you're even working. It's just a fun day. So I'm really excited. I can't wait until the movie comes out. It's going to be an awesome movie.
Right, and I was lucky that, I was part of both film festivals that you did, and I happened to be in, in the films. That was the thing. The Irony of Catharsis.
Yeah, Irony of Catharsis. That was you did great in that. And by the way, Irony of Catharsis, it was re-edited, and it's currently now being submitted out to film festivals. It took a while because the edited version that you guys saw at last year's Hudson Valley International Film Festival wasn't the best that I knew it could be. So now the version of the film is much better. It's tighter, has better music, and that's what, even I look back on a lot of my films and I think, man, they could be better somehow. So some of the older films, even Savior, there's a different cut of Savior. It's a longer director's cut with scenes that didn't make the first.
Nudity.
Right.
There's some nudity in it. Yeah, there's some nudity, a little extra violence for the people who like action. But yeah, there's a longer director's cut of Savior as well. But
And you know, it's a funny thing in when you produce a film, when you direct a film, when you make a film, they're not shown everywhere right away. It takes years and years and years for them either to be sold or distributed, or how does that process work exactly?
well, a lot of things nowadays is I did a lot of research on distribution. And many people now can be self-distributors. They can use sites online to distribute their film. They could use stuff like YouTube and put their film for sale. However, a lot of the distribution companies, I'm not going to name names, but they have exclusive rights to your film for a locked amount of years. Let's say it's 10 years. And they say they're going to spend $30,000 in, promotion for your film. However, in the agreement, it's never disclosed that they have to show that what they spent on what. So how do you know that they spent $30,000 in promotion of your film? And then when it's all said and done, once they get their $30,000 back that they say they put into your film, you might have a potential of making 5% of the money back. So it's a risky thing to put your film out there because, as we know, it's kind of like music. You put a song out, and if it gets leaked, you lose, over time, it loses its value,
So you could work months or even a year on a show, on a movie, and not actually ever see it. The public never actually really see it, maybe for years.
Possibly. I mean, and that's where I'm trying to change things, because though Transcending Pictures has been successful over the years, and we had the film festival that we hosted, it gave us a platform that we didn't have. So we got a lot more, I guess, feedback from other producers or other casting
Filmmakers.
directors and filmmakers that we didn't have before. Because when you submit something out to other people's festivals, you don't have the same platform as your own. So that's
Right.
that was one of the advantages of getting out there. But you are right; it sometimes takes years to get out there. I still hope people see The Factory, because I still think with the right edit, that would be even a better movie. And that's my first. It was a learning experience.
So how many films actually have you been involved in now, if you can recall and count them?
Well, I have 3 feature films that are complete. That's The Factory, Savior, and Irony of Catharsis.
Right.
And then I have A Line Between All Things, which is currently in post-production, which is being edited and composed and all that type of stuff. And I'm in pre-production of a film, of a love story called Crush, that I hope to shoot in the wintertime. So casting is open. Anyone interested in being a part of the film, they can email me at marinarofilms@gmail.com, or you could
Can I
find
hear that again so that everybody hears that?
marinarofilms@gmail.com, or you could find us on the Facebook page of Transcending Pictures. If you're interested in being part of the cast, crew, extras, whatever you're doing. But it's a different film than I've done before. I'm inspired by a lot of movies. That's one of the reasons I became a filmmaker. I felt like they gave movies, a good movie can Transcending Pictures, could make you, feel that hope in humanity. They could kind of take you out of whatever misery you might be going in your life. It's therapeutic. So
Yes,
making
it
a good movie that's,
Well,
a lot of films that they've seen me have are very
Yeah.
filled with carnage and violence, but I wanted more.
what I can say to you viewers out there, in all areas that we're broadcasting from now, okay, I've been giving everybody opportunities to come on my show and sing, bands, and all kinds of other goodies. Now, tonight, this could be one of my most valuable shows that I could ever offer you, because having Charles on here, he's offering you something that you can't get anyplace to get into the movie industry. This is probably the most valuable show that's being shown tonight on TV. So pay attention, because this is great. I mean, I expanded into other areas, and it's done so much for my career. I just want to tell you, the feeling when you first see yourself on the screen, what it's like, I can't describe it. I mean, knowing that all the hard work you put in. It's not easy, it's hard work, long hours, but it's well worth it. Take it from me.
Like the little engine, you kind of build up steam, and you get better and better and better and better, because you've been in not only just television, you've been in movies, you've done other things as you currently are in addition to this show. I mean, you're a success everywhere in life. And Charles, I understand you're not just in movies also. You have done other things also.
He makes music.
I mean, it's something I'm trying to get back into, but I also do music.
And writes books.
And I write. One of my biggest dreams is hopefully having one of my books published. Publishers out there, I'll be sending that to you. But yeah, like I love to write, and I like to create stories and to get people to think, I hope. And I'm not all about the carnage. I mean, I've had filmmakers I've worked with in the past that they're like, your films are blood and guts and there's no art behind them. But I beg to differ. I feel like sometimes the gruesomeness and the grittiness of a film could sometimes, that's life. I mean, there's a lot of, injustice and a lot of craziness going on in the world around us. And depicting that in a film is kind of, it's kind of giving them the pain, taking it from yourself, so.
Something that people have to kind of relate to, unfortunately, and fortunately for you.
Yeah.
But not only you've not only done movies, you've also, I think, been involved in television.
Well, currently I'm getting involved with that. I'm actually creating a show of my own, but it's nothing like this, so don't worry, we're not going to be competing. It's it's going to be Transcending Pictures Talk, and I do movie reviews for like independent movies. Now, I've seen a lot of great movies lately, and a lot of terrible ones. I don't want to name names, but
Mother sucked.
follow Transcending Pictures. You'll find that out. But I'm also doing like not a variety show, but more like getting actors and models and stuff to discuss their interests in filmmaking and the experience, because people are going to lie to you, to get your money, and managers sometimes are the worst. But you want to hear it from the people that are using their money or experiencing it, because some sets you go to, you get taken advantage of. Extras are kind of like cattle called and herded like cows. I hope I never treat anyone like that. Maybe on a stressful day.
That's a
New York
moot
City.
point.
That mainly happens in New York City.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
absolutely.
mainly happens like in New York City.
Where people are expendable.
Yeah,
Yeah, when
you're held in a pen, waiting to be called.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when you do your movies now, your television things now and your movies now, are there specific actors and actresses that do television and don't do movies, or do the movies people do television also? Or, I mean, I know as a director you can be versatile, but as an actor and actress, what actually are there television people? Just television people and just movie people?
I guess it depends on the script mainly. A lot of the people I work with, like I said, if I trust in an actor or actress's abilities, I'll work with them again and again and again. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're overusing," but if they're talented and they're approachable and easy to direct, the material is going to be great. And sometimes I don't take that risk where I want to work with some new people, because I've dealt with some of the bougie type and the people that are kind of, the prima donnas on set. I think you were there for a few of them, Mr. Fell.
Yeah.
Where there were some prima donnas where we had the set would take hours when it could have been done in a few. And
that happened to me in my first movie. I almost got stranded in New York. Back in 2002, at that time I had an agent, and he calls me right here on the show one night. I happened to be in the control room while the guest was up singing. He says, "I want you to come down to New York and be in a movie tomorrow." I said, "I'm not trained for that. I'm trained for commercials at that time." He says, "You'll do fine." So I went down there and I told him, I'm untrained completely for this. They said, "But you have camera experience." The craziest thing happens. I mean, it was a long, long day into the night. I almost got stranded in New York because these so-called trained actors could not follow instructions, do what they were told with the camera. I was the only one on the first take. They told me what to do, and I did it, and they got it on the first take with me.
That's awesome.
But everybody else was doing the opposite of what they were told, so we had to keep doing it about 25 times over.
Yeah, we've had that happen.
tell her a little bit, I mean, because I don't want to stop anyone's, but I know, like, I don't want to, as my films, I could sell them to you any way I want, but having people that have experienced it is going to be an interesting thing, because for those of you in the audience who don't know, but Alexis and I live together. Yes, yes, it's very shocking. No, but the thing is, I introduced her to the world of filmmaking, and it's a really hard thing to do. A lot of people don't understand, but you're telling someone this is how I live, and an actor's life or an artist's life is very different from, we're different people.
He basically told me when we met, if
I said,
you
you know,
didn't get along with the movies, we gotta separate.
Yeah, it's a tough thing, but
movies are nothing.
what I'm trying to say is I opened my house up to actors and actresses. They were sleeping over my house on the floor. We were cooking big trays of food. I kind of took Josephine's example, what she did on other people's movie sets where she was cooking and doing it, because it saves your budget as opposed to, you know, catering and everything. So I did big trays of baked ziti and pasta and
Empanadas, chicken.
anything but good big trays of food we did.
Yeah.
But let her tell you a little bit about the experience as far as what was it like at our
to
house
eat
for
Charles'
really,
food.
well, that's always good.
Charles's food, he's a better cook than I am.
No, but what was it like with a situation with people living in our house?
Oh, yeah.
That was horrible. But, you know, you get used to it because it's not the first time we've had guests come over for a while. So, you know, I learned to stay as a host and prep food and wake up early and make sure bagels are there and stuff is ready and just make sure they're having a good time as much as I am because it's fun. Yeah. But it is very stressful. There was times where I was like, I'm quitting. We're not doing this anymore. Get everyone out of my house. It's done. Mm-hmm. But we pushed through it.
And the film A Line Between All Things is unlike anything Transcending Pictures has ever done. It's a true film of survival. You know, these characters are in a post-apocalyptic world trying to survive, and they're unsure of how they got there. Possibly they're alive, possibly they're not. Maybe they're in purgatory. Mm-hmm. And they have to live in this dismal abyss until their final judgment kind of thing. So these characters could live many lives, many existences. So we filmed in a lot of historical Borscht Belt locations.
Right.
Grossinger's, The Pines.
Right.
Monticello
Manor.
Well, that wasn't a Borscht Belt, but
there's a lot.
You understand.
The Homowack. All these
Yeah.
classic places. I mean, was it Dirty Dancing was filmed?
in Grossinger's.
Grossinger's.
Nice.
And they're decrepit right
Yeah.
now. Like people might remember them as these beautiful resorts,
Right.
you know. Yeah. But now
They're ruins.
they're ruins, and it gave the backdrop of the movie this raw feel. So the experience of this movie, I mean, the characters wore clothes. Literally, by the end of the movie, they were so tattered and torn, they're falling off of their bodies.
And they were never washed. It was
Never
the same
washed.
outfit.
I mean,
we stunk.
I especially stunk.
Yeah,
I mean,
he had
I
the
was
same
wearing
outfit.
the same leather jacket and black clothes and tore up clothes for 3
6
months.
weeks?
Whoever it was, 6-7 weeks of filming.
Running, playing in dirt, in the rain, in ruins, asbestos, the whole 9 yards in the same
Yeah.
outfit.
So the experience, and the next thing is for a true method actor, someone who claims they're a method actor, A Line Between All Things was the experience. Like you experienced the method acting.
You were
Oh,
victim.
absolutely. I never did anything like that, so it was a real good experience. And I really enjoyed that. And also, I've been in the irony of the catharsis, and that's where I met you, Phil, I think 2014, 2015.
2015, I had just retired.
Yeah. And so many diversified scenes I was in, just like that. I did a office part and then a dominatrix part. So, like, you're giving me a lot of experience here, and I'm so thankful and grateful to be part of Transcending Pictures, of what I did and part of your show and our friendship and Josephine and all of us. I'm grateful to be here, yeah.
That we had a beautiful hotel to work at.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was really nice.
Yeah, the Crown Plaza in Suffolk. We were lucky we had that.
We had a lot of great locations over the years. Most of them locations Josephine has helped me achieve. She is a lot of producers. They help you in only one category. She's helped in
all of them.
several. You know, she's She's really a great asset.
She's a wonderful lady and a
Right.
wonderful wife.
Hopefully, I'm going to put that all into real estate.
The jack of all trades.
And I want to give a special shout out because I'm not one of those people that like to take all the success in, but there's some great people who have helped me along the way that necessarily I don't work with anymore. And Simon, wherever you are out there,
Oh, I love Simon.
Simon Fridlick, you're doing your own thing, and
Keep making movies.
keep it up, because when we first met, making The Factory and the successes we had with the other productions, they changed all of our lives. Whether or not the outcome of where we are now, it's kind of good that we kind of separated and did our own thing. But his dream was making a film. He always said, he always wanted to make a feature film, and we finally did it. And just like you were saying, it was all about a dream. A lot of actors and actresses, they use the opportunity I give them to build a reel or use it for experiences, whether they're behind the scenes, to get bigger gigs. I mean, a lot of the people I've worked with have used the reel to get commercial jobs, to help them get, into the union, SAG,
Right.
whatever it is. And, it's all a dream, and you got to
Right.
stay focused on it.
Right, by having this experience now with films, a few weeks ago, I was picked up by a new producer, Lena Shackley, who was on my show. So she had me perform at the Nyack Film Festival.
That's
I
awesome.
saw that. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
So, and I'm wondering why in fact, I did this song, I Had a Dream, and I'm wondering why is everybody taking photos? They're all standing up taking photos of me while I'm singing the song.
'Cause
They
you're
don't
a
know me
star.
from Adam. So after we got done, she said that she wants to start using me in different areas, and she already used me in New York City. She has a TV show also, and she was doing this show from New York City, and she brought me down to co-host the International Women's Fashion Show.
Wow.
And this was models and everybody from all over the world, and here I am with her interviewing them.
Yeah.
And, she has a lot of other plans for me. So, I mean, how this little film festival, by doing one song, turned out, to be quite a big future.
Well, you're doing good, Phil. You got the great, sexy
Absolutely.
voice, and you're a Jerry Lewis all the way.
There you go. Doors are
Charles,
opening.
anyone else you want to give a shout out to?
I have an event I would like to shout out. I don't know about people. There's a lot
Go
of
ahead.
people. There's so many people. I had great. Thank you, Alexis.
I'm
You're
just kidding.
great.
Your love is enough.
There's so many people that have helped me get to this point that have been wonderful, to help in this. Like I was talking about earlier in the show, we had a great platform, when we created the Hudson Valley International Film Festival. And this year, unfortunately, because we couldn't come to an agreement with a town that we hosted the film festival in, things didn't go as planned. However, as the months have been, I've been still planning behind the scenes, and I'm looking to build a committee of creative thinkers and people that want to be involved in helping us create a huge event. Something that's classy and smooth, that we kind of learned from our mistakes of the first 2 years, which I thought were very successful, but to make it even better third year in the year to come. So I'm hoping sometime in 2018, which isn't that far away, that we have another film festival that hopefully I can premiere A Line Between All Things and other projects that are going on. So for people that want to be involved, reach out to me, and I'd love to hear. In the first 2 years, we had a committee of people, just volunteers, and they would come up to us with ideas like, hey, maybe you guys should do a poetry slam, or something a little different. Think outside of the box. Or maybe you guys should have competitions that are different from filmmakers, make it more interactive for them. So that's why I love feedback from people that are enthusiastic, So in this third year, I'd love to gain new people and move on with that.
Right. I had a great time, especially at the 2016, because I got TV interviews on both opening night and on awards night, that was shown on Channel 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of those people, too, I'll just say right now, that little experience with doing the film festival, I met so many great filmmakers and actors. The lead actress of A Line Between All Things, Sarah Harmon, who I think was on the show a few months back, was just an interviewer on the red carpet at my event. And she was so enthusiastic and driven that I knew that I had to work with her, because if you're a good actress and you're easy to work with, that makes it so much better.
Right.
Phil, I was looking back on my many years of experiences in wanting to meet actors and actresses, and the way I did it was I rented a horse farm that was owned by the late Burgess Meredith. And I can remember a funny story that Burgess once, actually, I was part of it. It was Christmas Eve, and I was sleeping in one of the barns where I lived at the time. Being a real estate consultant, this was all new to me. And Burgess knocked on the door around 12 o'clock midnight Christmas Eve, and he said, "Ed, would you please saddle up my horse, Kinvara?" I said, "Sure, Burgess, but are you sure you're up to it? It's a party evening, and I think you've been partying." And so Burgess said, "Please, get my horse." So I saddled up Kinvara, got her outside. He hopped on the horse. He said, "Where's the steering wheel? Where's the dashboard?" I said, "Burgess, you're sitting on the horse backwards." But it gave me a wonderful opportunity, though, at that time, which I wanted to do, was to meet actors and actresses like Robert Shaw, Paul Newman, Ido Preminger and his family. They took lessons at our farm. And Carol O'Connor, Archie. I thought he was going to be all laughs, but he wasn't. He was actually a very serious person.
Oh, wow.
But it actually made me show people that actually you can't know an actor or an actress and think that person, because he or she has been in a certain role, that's the way he or she really is. They really are independent characters.
And all actors, too, like to add on to that, some actors take it a little too far, and they don't know how to snap out of it.
We've had that happen.
A lot of people, sometimes it's like they get lost within the character, and some people even do kind of dangerous things to themselves, actors and actresses, like you're
become
living
the character.
unhealthy and whatever just to
Right, I know
live
that.
out that character.
Right.
And they're human beings, too.
The funniest thing, at the first one I went to for you, 2015, so I didn't first go there until Saturday night, because I have my show here on Friday night, and a lot of times I just can't skip a show. I got to give a certain amount to shows, since we're responsible for so many different networks in Brooklyn and Manhattan and all over. So I got to your event on Saturday night, and it was so funny. Naomi Grossman comes up and starts talking to me, and everybody's coming up to me. "Don't hog her, let her talk to everybody else." And she says to them, "I'll talk to Mr. Phil if I want to. Let me do what I have to do."
That's funny.
And it was so fun. So we're just laughing, joking for hours. And she even put my silly laugh into her phone as the ringer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Naomi Grossman was actually really easy to work with. She wasn't like the guy we had the second year. I'm not going to name names, but you guys, if you ever watch the update videos, you'll see him. But Naomi Grossman was one of those celebrities that, she's on a hit TV show, American Horror Story.
Yeah, right.
And she was fun. She was interactive. She didn't tell us, like, "Hey, I need a 3-foot wall in between me and your guests." Some celebrities
Careful,
come
they
with
bite.
that.
Right.
I danced with Naomi. Why not? When are you going to get an opportunity to dance with Naomi Grossman?
Oh, yeah.
Did you forgive him?
I wasn't with him at the time,
All right,
so
it's
I
It's
had
before her.
to. Before my time.
I shouldn't have brought that up.
That's okay.
But
It was only a dance.
Yeah, he's on
Anyway.
bigger and better things now.
But yeah, anyone interested in being a part of the Hudson Valley International Film Festival Year 3, please email me at marinarofilms@gmail.com or find me on Transcending Pictures. The Hudson Valley International Film Festival.com is still up and running. You can see what we did last year, and it's going to be a totally different event. don't look at that and prejudge it, even though it was a wonderful event. I'm looking more into like a red carpet Hollywood.
Wow, I like
black
that.
tie event. I want to.
Ooh, I love that sound.
We kind of went for that, but it kind of got misconstrued because it was kind of a little too comfortable, and I want people to kind of like show their best self.
I love fashion, and I love when I go to a film festival to look at all the people dressed up and their shoes and the accessory and their hairstyle. Oh my God, it's amazing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it.
And so many different fashion people. Women should get some fashion designers, do a fashion show, keep it classy. I mean, women love fashion, and
so do men.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Men are catching up to us women.
Yes, they
I'm
are.
going to say that.
I'm in the dust.
Look at you two, three. I forgot. You three.
Of course, there are exceptions to the rule.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to ask you, Hope, now tell
Yes.
your story. How did you get started in all this?
Oh, well, let's see. I started out, I want to say in 2013. I had no idea I was going to get into acting. I had a friend, and she invited me to a model shoot, and I did the model shoot, and I loved it. And then she started going to acting school, and she said, well, why don't you go to acting school? And I was like, oh, I'm not an actor. And I wear many hats. There's many. I'm also a realtor for many years. And I went to acting school, and I got my certificate, and I signed up for Central Casting in New York.
Right.
And I was working around the area. I got to do some background work with Charles and Transcending Pictures and some other producers and directors in the area. And also, I was honored to be on The Orange is the New Black. And I had a featured role on there as a shoe-in mate. And they called me back last year and this year, but I had neck surgery, so I'm not really doing a lot right now. I also did work for TV Land Younger. I had a featured part as a Cape woman there, and been in some other fantastic movies, and I would have never thought in a million years that I would be doing acting. So, like you were talking about, like doors open, and you just walk through them. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm learning. I'm just learning. I'm not for a role or anything, a big role, not yet anyway. I'm still learning a lot, but maybe down in the future, as I learn. But this is a great experience for me, and I love doing this. And it's a dream. Everybody dreams to be in movies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm living the dream. Yeah, so.
It's like, it is a dream.
Yeah.
Just name it the dream.
If you live a dream, you're happy, you're successful, and you get better and better and better, like all of you have. And it's wonderful to be here with everybody tonight. It really is. It's such a pleasure to hear so many success stories, and it's just wonderful. And I'm just so glad to be part of this tonight.
Right.
And
And
you're never too
what we have to offer you now that we didn't have before, we have my director here, Mary Frost. She's going to be an asset to you, in films and everything else, because she picks up on things. Just show her what to do, and she picks up on things. So I think that that's going to add a lot to your films and to your company and to everything else, like she's done to this show.
Yeah, she's done a lot for you. I saw her. Mary, you're amazing. You've done so much.
She's proof to the fact that if you surround yourself with decent, bright people, they too will carry you to another level, and they too will rise at the same time.
Right, because how doors open for people. We were at another major film festival together, Mary and I, and people are coming up to us handing their albums, because a lot of them, as you said, they're in other areas. They're in music, they're in singing, they got bands, and they're all handing us CDs. I want to be on your show, and they all come over to Mary because she's now the booking agent for this show. She does all the bookings, and I mean, here she is at this film festival, with stars and all that, and she's like the star of this festival. Everybody's coming over to her and to me to be on the show from all directions.
Maybe Charles, you should think of doing a film festival here on live TV.
That'd be cool.
I think so.
Sky's the limit. You know, a lot of film festivals are actually at multiple locations, and at the same time, the sky's the limit. You never know. You know, it's something that we'd have to talk about. But
Yeah.
film festivals, they're easy to do. They just got to be planned right. And I don't want to put on a shim sham show. I want it to be
Charles, I never seen you do any shim sham. You always give it your very best.
you know.
Always.
So, like I said before, it's never too old to start acting for those people out there that they think they kind of wanted to do it. You start as an extra possibly, and then, you know, a lot of these actors are not all they think they are. You know, it's including myself. Like I took a step back recently. I'm actually doing a web series that's going to be like continual episodes. They're really short, and it's open casting. So, as I was saying before, for the feature film that's going to be coming out, or going to be casting, we're also doing open casting, so people can send us their reels or their resumes to the same email, as far as getting people involved with being a part of the web series. Now, these web series, they'll be on YouTube, they'll be on the Transcending Pictures page, which has a few thousand people that see it at all times. So get involved, you know, if you want to be a part of it.
So this is very exciting because the public now knows that you actually can help bring their careers together, help them get ahead also. And you never know where that'll go.
And I'm looking for new blood, like new faces, new talent out there. So, you know, because I was talking to Josephine just not too long ago, and we were saying, like, wow, there was a different feel and enthusiasm during the factory as there was towards my new film, which is ironic because now I'm more professional and organized than I was back then, but it's because you're kind of working with the same people. So when you get these new new life out there.
It's exciting when you first start and you're in a movie. When I first started with Charles, I would have done anything. If he would have said, jump off the fifth floor building, I would have jumped. But it was exciting, and I'm sure that everybody that was in the factory, oh my God, I think we were like 50 scenes, they were doing the same thing, and every time they got up to do that same scene, they got up with more energy. Oh, boy, it was amazing.
By the last take, they needed to go out in body bags.
Yeah, it's amazing. Any shout-outs? Give some shout-outs to
Janelle Smetana.
Yeah.
Janelle Tana, you're a wonderful actress. Dan Shannon did a great job in Irony Catharsis. Don't worry, the legacy is going to continue. Greg Janute, you're an awesome actor. Big things to come. I know you're a part of Chris Matrone's next project, 5 Doors.
And
Shout
The
out.
Secret 2 Hours.
Yes, he's also a part of A Line Between All Things. Shout out to Chris Matrone, man. Good job with your 5 Doors. This is his directorial debut, and I know, like, that's got to be a tough thing when you're a creative mind, and you know you're co-directing with me, but you know you kind of want to direct your own thing. So good luck with your new production. I know you're going to be filming in the fall, and
It's wonderful. You're the younger version, and Phil is the slightly, not older, but a little older version.
How old are you, 25?
You both have inspired actually a lot of people. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
In fact, now I have to talk about something we have coming up on this station that's very important that I have to bring up. Saturday, October 21st, we are doing our telethon. And that'll be on Access 23 from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to at least 7 o'clock at night, or who knows when. Mary Frost is director, and she's in charge of it. And what we're looking for donations to start us off, okay? Because we're going to be flashing our numbers on the screen that day, and my wife will be answering phones for donations. Telethon for what actually will you be talking about? It's for this station, to continue on with this station.
Oh, with this station.
So
That's wonderful.
What we need you to send your donations. You could send them in ahead of time. Make out your checks to Access 23 TV, and then send it to Access 23 TV, P.O. Box 321, Port Jervis, New York 12771. That's P.O. Box 321, Port Jervis, New York 12771. And I'm also talking to all my viewers in Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Hudson Valley, YouTube. You're getting the same show as the people locally here on Access 8, so we need the donations from you two to send them in. Okay?
Send them in.
Send them in. We need it. And then that day, of course, it's going to be a great day with a lot of entertainment. You could come down and give your donations between 2 and 7. We'll all be here. And if you like, we'll even put you on TV to give it. But whatever it takes to work, it's up to you. So please send your checks in to Access 23 TV, P.O. Box 321, Port Jervis, New York 12771.
Come on, folks, with those donations for Phil, Channel 23.
There you go. Send them in.
Right.
That's
So,
wonderful.
Yes.
And you've always been a leader here for this station, and it's a pleasure having viewed you and seen you, and just God willing, you'll continue this for many years with great people like we have here tonight.
Yeah, you people, we're very grateful to have you all down there.
And
you
we're
know.
thankful
We're
to
grateful.
be here.
And
We're grateful. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We hope to see this out there. I'm excited.
You know, maybe you should have Charles up here, and maybe those people that want to be an extra in a movie can actually come, donate, and get an autograph with Charles. Give your name and number to Charles, but make sure you donate to Channel 23 and meet
That's right.
Charles and be in his movies.
And I'll be glad to, on
Actress.
that day to come forward with some of my corny jokes. So please look
Corny
forward to
jokes
it.
and an actress or actor position. What more could you need?
right. See, Josephine and Ed know the other parts of my life also.
We know you're also a serious person.
Yeah.
We know you're a good singer, and we know you're deeply religious.
Right.
So it's a total success story.
Right.
Well, that's wonderful.
That we're also part of Temple Sinai. And we want to wish all our Jewish friends out there, Shana Tova, a sweet and happy
Healthy
New Year.
New Year.
And may you be inscribed in the Book of Life.
And that's the creed, that's the credo, that's the basis for the entire holiday, which is wonderful.
Right.
And,
So
go ahead,
we want
Phil.
to thank
Sorry.
you all for coming on. Okay. And what do you got to say?
I want to say thank you so much for having me on the show and having me co-host in place of Mary.
Yes, in place of Mary. I mean, she did a wonderful job, and Mary's out there working behind the scenes because she lost her voice. That's tough, her losing her voice, I mean.
Poor girl.
Okay, so
Charles,
we want to thank you, Charles, for coming on.
Thank you so much again.
Okay, and Hope.
Hi. Oh, thank you. I'm very honored to be here today. I really thank you a lot. Thanks for having me.
Josephine and I look forward to continuing to back Charles and his endeavors, whatever they might be, because they're all going to be successful, as you have been, all of you.
Right.
Thank you so
Well,
much for
thank
having
you.
us here tonight.
Thank you.
Transcending Pictures.
Transcending Pictures, everybody.
Yes, Mr. Pictures, yes.
With Phil, Charles,
Hope.
Hope,
Alexis.
Alexis, Ed, and who am I again? I mean, oh yes, Josephine. And don't forget,
you forget?
Mary Frost. She lost her voice, but I'll speak for her. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Hey, Mary. But anyway, again, it was nice having Charles here from Transcending Pictures.
Invite me again. I'll be here.
Yes.
And he'll be here
Bring
next
coffee
week.
and
So if
bottles.
you want to come drop by, leave a donation so we can continue Channel 23. You can get hooked up with Charles for the next movie. And
Only hooked up in movies. Just
yes,
Yes.
hooked up in movies,
Only in
not
movies.
hooked up with Charles, because Charles has Alexis.
yes.
We made that
Always
clear
be with me
tonight.
with a small fee.
That was the bottom line, not with Charles.
Nothing else.
And Ken, thank you, Ken, in the back, working diligently every Friday night to bring these shows to us. And since he stepped in, the shows have gotten excellent.
Thank you, Ken.
The Frost family.
Thank you.
Woo! Absolutely wonderful.
So we will see you all next week at the same time,
Same place.
same place.
Same station.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah. Channel 23. Don't forget those donations. Woo! Yeah. Woo!
There's my name.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Alexis, too.
Starring
Oh,
Charles Marinaro, director, writer, Alexis, what?
Kearns.
Script supervisor.
Supervisor.
Hope
Yeah.
wannabe. Hope, you wannabe?
Wannabe.
One
I'm
of
only
my,
kidding. Wannabe. She's an actress.
one of my an actress?
You want to be an actress?
That's
Okay.
so perfect.
And Ed and Josephine.
There he
Broom.
is.
The Broomfield.
Bloomfield.
Bloom.
No, broom. You know, she's a witch. She flies
Yeah.
on her broom.
Definitely a
There
witch.
she
Oh, producers. What the hell do they produce? But okay.
There he goes.
No.
Yeah,
And
Transcending
from
Pictures.
Transcending
Pictures.
That's me.
Pictures.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. We're all transcenders.
Hosted by Mr. Phil and Miss
joking.
Mary.
Hosted
Miss
by
Mary.
Mr. Phil and Miss Mary.
Wow, I should get a speechwriter and
Special
just read off
co-host.
the teleprompter.
Alexis.
And me.
Wow.
Thank you, Mr. Phil.
Producer Ken
So
Frost.
excited.
Produce video. Audriana
Adriana.
what?
Aldoy.
Oh, thank you for the help. You got it right. Don't worry about that.
Director Mary Frost.
All right, Mary.
Go, Mary.
You
Say
are on
something,
the
girl.
Price is Right.
I know you can't say anything. That's why I'm taking advantage of
Email
you.
Mary Frost.
But you got a beautiful smile right there.
Frostings.
Yeah. And I love frosting. Go to Di Filippi's on East Main
Okay.
Street. Oh my God, get a cup of vanilla frosting.
You better contact us. Find us on Facebook. The trailer is going to be released
Yeah.
October 27th.
Be there in your costumes or be square.
Thanks for watching, people. Don't forget, Transcending Pictures.
And your donations.
Donations, so we can keep coming at ya.